Hi all, and welcome back to another episode of WolfQuest Anniversary Edition, Gnat's Journey, with Gnat, Stickbug, and the rest of the pack. In the last episode, we gave the puppies their names and continued to raise them through the raise pups phase until they were old enough to move to the rendezvous site. So, here we are at the rendezvous site, same rendezvous site we used last year that is. Stickbug unfortunately got a broken leg in the last episode, so he's going to be dealing with that for a while, poor guy. But the rest of the pack is healthy and well, for the most part. I don't remember how our yearlings got injured, but they'll be fine. So I'm going to feed the pups, and we're going to look around. I seem to recall that our territory, was suffering. So that's definitely something that I'm going to have to reinforce in this episode. Hi, Silverfish. Where are you going, hon? But yeah, now that the pups are 15 pounds, we no longer need a den. We no longer have to worry about fleas. But they are actually in a bit more danger than they were when they were a little bit smaller and younger, because the grass is no longer a safe place for pups, not since the Saga update came out. Predators can now scare them out of the grass, so even though the game says the most dangerous time for pups is the growing pups phase, I find that the most dangerous time for my pups is definitely this time between 15 and 25 pounds, when they're still small enough that predators can just kind of snatch them up, but not small enough that they have the den for safety. So we're going to have to be extra vigilant this episode and just keep an eye out for any kind of predators that might be lurking around the den site. Now that the pups are fed, I am going to go do some territory marking. And I'll catch up with you if anything interesting happens or, when I'm back at the rendezvous site. So, see you soon. Okay, so something that did happen in the last episode and that I noticed but didn't really address was this Coyote Creek kind of sneaking into our territory and right up to where our den was and where our rendezvous site is. So I am going to go try to claim that back. We will see if we run into any trouble with Coyote Creek. Their home hex is quite a ways away, so there's not really a reason they need this territory. I think they were just coming in here so they could attack our pups, which they did in the last episode. Along with Cottonwood Creek, I believe. So we've kind of got enemies on all sides. We haven't had a whole lot of trouble with the Geode pack, but that doesn't mean that they won't come after us at some point. So, oh good. Stickbug no longer has a minor jaw injury, but his leg is still broken. I did send him back to watch the pups. Initially, all of our yearlings and Stickbug came with me, and I don't think that's a really good idea. When you're at the rendezvous site, the threshold at which pups will leave the grass is a little bit higher than it is when you're at like a den with low fleas, so I don't really want to take the whole pack with me and leave nobody with the pups. That just seems like asking for the pups to come out of the grass and get lost, and I'm not too keen on having that happen. Nat has enough problems without her pups getting lost again. I definitely still remember what happened in the first season with Moth and poor Skipper. So, yeah. Nat's learned her lesson. She's not about to take her whole pack with her if she doesn't need to. Okay, so we managed to claim those hexes that Coyote Creek stole from us without any trouble. They didn't come challenge us or anything like that. So, on to the more boring marking. Okay, so there is a cow elk down here. That implies that around here somewhere is a baby. Let's see if we can't look around and find it. Honestly, there's not a whole lot of grass around here, so it doesn't really take a lot of deduction to figure out where the calf is. I have a lot more difficulty finding them. Obviously, when there's a lot of grass patches, it's easy to lose track of which ones you've checked and which ones you haven't. But in places like this where there's really only one option, bad luck for Mama Elk. Good luck for us! Yay, food! We see Weevil taking the... Oh. Well, Weevil took the carcass away from Moth and then immediately ate like the last tiny chunks, so that's an interesting little interaction between siblings. Okay, it looks like we have a hex invasion, presumably from Coyote Creek again. I mean, we could go... I don't remember if last episode this was like a carcass that had a whole lot of food on it, or if it was just a situation where we took that down earlier. I don't really want to put Nat in a situation in which she doesn't have the health to hunt, And there is down here what seems to be a fairly close elk herd. Now obviously this time of year the elk are going to be stronger, the adult elk are going to be stronger, but with a pack it's definitely not impossible to take them, or to take one down. We did of course see that our yearlings got quite injured trying to hunt last episode. Yeah, and here's a couple of Coyote Creek dispersals. Okay, there's no real point for us to fight a couple of dispersals, and I don't know, I might chase the elk herd toward the Hex Invaders, so just in case one of them trips, we could maybe have an easy meal, and if not, we can maybe see what the Hex Invasion looks like, and whether it's actually worth trying to take it on with Gnat and her yearlings. My instinct is to say no, just because yearlings are a lot more fragile than, like, 2-year-old or 3-year-old or anything older than that subordinates. So we could easily get really injured trying to fight that Hex Invasion, and that doesn't sound like a great idea. I don't know. Especially with our wakefulness, it might be a good idea to just kind of go back to the den and worry about the territory later. And, do think that is what I'm going to do. We're not really hungry enough that we need to hunt right now, and I don't want to risk any more injuries. Oh, we are almost back at the rendezvous site, but I spy a moose calf, which might be a good idea for us to bring back. Good food for Gnat, or Stickbug, or anybody that doesn't have full health, so... I say health, I mean, like, hunger. I don't... They used to be the same thing, you don't understand. Back in my day, health and hunger were the same thing. Oh, I am artificially aging myself. Okay, we obviously do want to be careful. Moose mamas can pack a wallop, so we don't want to get kicked by her. Thankfully, this one doesn't seem to be super experienced at defending her calf, so I think we'll be able to take this one down without any problems. Okay, yeah. Now if we can just kind of get her to, yeah, move away from her calf so we don't get kicked trying to pick up the carcass. Alright. And thankfully we're right next to the rendezvous site, so this isn't even that slow of a trek. It's still pretty slow when you have to carry a moose calf. They are quite large and heavy, so almost there. Okay, and once the pups get something to eat, we will be getting some more rest. This shows you how long a calf or fawn carcass lasts when you have a whole pack. Not very. The pups ate, and then the rest of the pack just kind of descended upon it, and now we have no leftover food. That always happens these days. Oh, forgot we had this glow stick. Da -da -da. Okay, anyway, we're gonna get some sleep. Okay, I'm realizing there is something I forgot to check, which I was mentioning a lot in the previous couple of episodes. We're gonna go into game settings and we're going to see what we have for pup RNG deaths. Yeah. Okay, like I thought, I did forget to turn it to none, so we do have all types of pup RNG deaths on. That means that they can die of sickness and they can disappear mysteriously to unknown fates. So, not what I wanted to have set, but that's, at least they added a way for us to check that now, so now we know. So far, obviously, we did have one sickness, but thankfully the pup recovered, so hopefully we continue to have that luck. And hopefully the game doesn't decide that 4 yearlings and 4 pups is too many, and that it needs to take one from us via unknown fate, but we will see. I've definitely had situations in which I had a very large pack and no unknown fates, and situations in which I had a not so large pack and still had a pup disappear, so there's really no guarantees. Okay, let's see. Gnat could use a little bit of food. We're not really starving. Our territory is not looking great. I'm gonna go check out that carcass, I think, that we took down and see if there's any food left on it, just to see if we can kind of get an easier meal. And then we're probably gonna come back to the rendezvous site and get some more sleep. I can do more marking in the morning. Ah, and there is an elk calf somewhere around here. Wouldn't hurt to find that. Then again, this is one of those areas that has a few more patches of grass than the last one, so it probably is going to be a little bit harder to find it. Oh, never mind. I stand corrected. Okay, so whether or not the carcass that we're headed toward has any more food on it, this is at least a little bit of food. I'm gonna have Gnat eat a bit, but the rest of it's gonna go to our pups and Stickbug. I definitely don't want Gnat to starve, but also Stickbug actually has a major injury and needs to recover, so I don't think keeping their hunger bar high does anything. I think it's just their health bar. If you keep your health high, you recover from major injuries faster. That does not, of course, mean that you recover quickly. Okay, and sure enough, there's a bear on this carcass. Is it worth actually fighting for it? That's kind of what I want to figure out. No. Yeah, I'm not gonna fight over that one. I will do a little bit of territory marking before I go back to the rendezvous site. I'll catch up with you when I get back. Was kind of hoping the bear would have moved on, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Could we just lure you subtly away from the carcass? Yeah, just keep chasing us. Keep chasing us. Keep chasing us. Okay, I'm just gonna get stuck on a rock. Fantastic. Usually it's pretty easy to just kind of get them angry enough that they'll chase you for a little bit. And then you can kind of go in and just grab a meat chunk, but not when you get stuck on a rock. That doesn't really help matters. Okay, looks like Moth and Lacewing are keeping that bear occupied while Stickbug grabs a bite to eat, and now we're gonna run. I don't want to take any more chances than we absolutely have to, but, you know, every little bit of food counts, especially since we're not quickly headed toward growing pups, but we'll get there eventually. I don't know. I feel like a gnat. I feel like a gnat is always a risk. What I meant to say, I feel like a hunt with Gnat and the yearlings is always a risk, especially this time of year, because it's very easy, like in the last episode, for the yearlings to get dangerously low on health. And it's also easy for Gnat to get dangerously low on health, because she's just not that great at anything, unfortunately. Again, if you haven't seen the previous episodes, go back and watch those. But we are doing the Ultra IronWolf challenge with Gnat, so she does have a -2 in every one of her stats and no age perks, which makes her very fragile, very squishy. Been doing okay so far, though. Okay, so we don't even have over 80 hunger. Alright, how are the pups doing on food? I would prefer if someone fed them. It can't be Gnat, because she doesn't have enough in her belly. Stickbug certainly could, as could a number of the pups. Do you guys want to feed them at all? Please? They're not super hungry, but I don't know. Stickbug will probably still have food after we sleep. I hope so, anyway. Okay. Looking around, seeing if we see any predators. I don't see anything immediately. Thankfully, Stickbug is feeding the pups. Thank you, Stickbug. Okay, I thought he was going to. Then he didn't. Buddy, I know your leg's broken, but that doesn't stop you from feeding our children. Please. Please? Please. What are you doing? Goodness gracious. Lacewing also has food that she could give them. Doesn't seem to be keen on doing so. That's... You guys! Gnat can't do this on her own. Please feed the children. Okay, now are you feeding them? Now are you feeding them? No, he's just staring at them. Dude, thank you. Thank you, Stickbug. What? I've never seen the packmates take so long to feed the pups. Obviously, most of our yearlings are too hungry to give them any more food, but Stickbug definitely has extra in the reserves, so yeah, I don't know why it took him so long. Maybe he's just feeling really crummy with his broken leg, honestly. Obviously, in real life, wolf with a broken leg would be really, really, really dangerous. Thankfully, we don't have things like infections or really, really bad injuries in WolfQuest, so he'll probably be fine, but I imagine he's still not feeling great. So that could really contribute to him not being as eager to feed the pups or get up from laying down, honestly. Okay, so I was looking at the map before we slept, and I'm not loving how close any of the rival packs are getting to our rendezvous site. So I am going to go reinforce on this side, maybe claim this hex from Geode, and of course, keep an eye out for any food I might find along the way. Let's see, nobody's starving, so it's really kind of whoever decides to come with Gnat. I am going to tell the pups to go, yep, eat in the grass, because... Okay. I don't see the coyotes. There they are. Okay. Coyotes usually aren't a problem when you have yearlings, as I've stated before, but they can sneak up on you, so if they had gotten to one of our pups before we spotted them, that would have been a problem. Okay, Cricket and Lacewing do appear to be coming with us, so we are going to do some territory marking and look for some food. See you soon. Hey, food! Oh, we are just terrorizing the moose around here, aren't we? Wouldn't mind having, like, one more pack mate to help us hunt this. I am gonna howl, see if somebody comes. Hopefully it's not the entire pack deciding to come with us, but one or two more wolves couldn't hurt. I definitely... moose can be dangerous. No, that's... I don't want to risk it with that much space between me and the mother. This is one of those times when I'm just extra careful. Okay, it does look like we do have everyone here. Well, as I said, that wasn't really what I intended, but that's fine. Ugh, gosh, I hate when you bite and just take damage and it does nothing to the thing you're hunting. Okay, but we did manage to take that down. I am going to let Gnat get something to eat, as I think she's... Yeah, she's pretty hungry, and she's a little bit injured, so... but once we're up to, like, yeah, 92%, that's fine. We'll let our pack have the rest of that, and then whoever... Oh... Weevil brought the... Okay, I thought that he brought the carcass over for his father to eat since Stickbug has a broken leg, but that doesn't appear to be the case. He does seem to be a little bit greedy with food. That is something that I've noticed about Weevil, which is fine. I mean, we need everyone to eat, so... Let's see... Yeah, he's up to 100%, Moth's up to 100%. I am going to send them back as we don't really need the whole pack with us to mark territory. So they'll go back, they'll watch the pups, and I think the rest of us will keep moving and looking for extra food. I don't like dragging Stickbug along on his broken leg, but seeing as Weevil didn't actually give his father a chance to eat, he does kind of need more food, so... I love that this time of year the water is no longer that gross muddy color. That's just a nice little touch. I like how we kind of see changes in the water on the Roaring Mountain, and I especially like when it's not muddy brown. I can't imagine that that's fun for the wolves to drink. Like, sweet essence of liquid dirt. Okay, seeing as that Geode Hex has dipped below 50 or at 50%, that means we can claim it by simply marking over the scent post. So I think I will be going down and doing that, just to keep them away from our rendezvous site and away from our pups. It's good to keep a 2 hex buffer between you and the rival packs, and the less wolf attacks that we have to deal with, the better, because those can definitely be really dangerous. When you have a few yearlings, the game decides, we could just throw most of the rival pack at you and you'll be fine. That doesn't always prove to be the case, especially since they can now startle the pups out of the grass. So it was bad enough when they were attacking us at our den. We definitely don't want them to attack us at our rendezvous site if we can help it. Of course, it doesn't prevent rival wolf attacks to have a good buffer, but it does lower the chance, I believe. So yeah, we'll want to keep that up. Okay, I'm gonna head back to the rendezvous site. We didn't manage to mark everything, but we are fresh out of stamina, or wakefulness rather, so I am gonna head back to the pups. We did manage to find some food, pronghorn fawn and an elk calf in the grass, which means that Stickbug and our pups are pretty well fed, so that's good at least. And we did manage to mark quite a bit, so even if we didn't get everything, I'm feeling a lot better about our position than I was previously. Okay, we are back at the rendezvous site. It does look like, Weevil... Was it Weevil and Moth that we sent back? I think so. It does look like they've fed the pups, so that is good. Junebug could probably use a little bit more food. Let's see. and I feed silverfish instead. Oh, well, Junebug caught something. What'd you catch, hon? A toad. I love the toad model in this game. Are you gonna eat that or just play with it? Answer, not clear. Okay, it does appear that she ate it. Goodness gracious. Yeah, toads and voles and whatnot do provide a nice little snack for them this time of year. Of course, they're still heavily reliant on mom and dad and their big siblings to bring them back food. Alright, let's get some rest. Okay, Stickbug's broken leg has finally healed. That's excellent. Okay. Let's see. Going to wolf them back into the grass just to make sure there's nothing stalking us. Doesn't appear that there are any predators around, so we're okay to call them out and hopefully give them some more food. Again, it looks like Stickbug, Weevil, and Lacewing all have enough to feed them, so they should be able to help with that. I would like to reinforce some of this territory, although, I don't know, as far as a 2-hex buffer, we've kind of got a 2-hex buffer. I just don't like seeing all of those hexes decaying over there. Probably not worth it to go mark all of those. I'm not sure. I'd be more inclined to go out and find some food. Maybe take down a cow elk for the pack. The pups are now all almost at 19 pounds, so I don't really know at which point the calves and fawns start getting up and running with the herds, but I think we're pretty close to that time, so we might be able to find something that's not a grown elk or deer to take down. Let's see. I am going to send them back in the grass, and who are we going to take with us? Everybody's about equally hungry. Moth's a little bit more hungry than the others, so I'll whine for her to come with us, and we'll see if anyone else decides to come along. It's interesting, with Gnat's pack more than any of the other wolves that I've played as, it does appear that the whole pack kind of wants to be out and running with her, so, I don't know, that's just kind of interesting. I've never really seen that before. Most of the time, at least a couple of wolves which will choose to hang back at the rendezvous site, and obviously I don't want the affinity to decay super quickly, so we might send one of them back soon anyway, but it is interesting that they all decided to come with us. I don't see that happen very often at all. Let's see, can we find something to eat is the question. I can't tell where the mother is. Oh, here's the mother. I mean, we could chase a mule deer. I don't think that's really worth it. If we found a cow elk mother, I might consider hunting her instead of the calf, but not really for a mule deer. I don't think that's really a good choice, considering they don't give very much food. Same thing with a pronghorn. Honestly, I don't even usually look for pronghorn fawns, because they're not very filling. Aha! I see the scent spores of an elk. Whortleberry herd. Does appear that they're probably pretty deep in Cottonwood Creek territory, but we'll see. Anytime that I don't have the Knowing Nose perk, I miss it. It's a perk for older wolves, and it's not like Gnat will ever get that perk because she can't get any perks, but I like knowing the distance I am from the whatever scent I'm picking up. It's super helpful, so I don't end up chasing a scent that's actually like way further away than I expected. I think we'll be okay with this one. Does look like we actually found them. Yeah. I'm going to have them rally, and hopefully we can take down a cow elk before we run out of wakefulness. This is the thing that I was kind of trying to avoid in Arctos' episodes, where we just end up really low on wakefulness constantly, and you kind of have to sleep a couple of times to fix that. And we're getting to the point in the year where you can't really sleep a couple of times, because the pups are starting to get more and more hungry and more restless, so let's see. It is very likely... Moth, did you just get trampled? Goodness gracious. It's very likely that all of these cow elk are, or almost all of these cow elk are very high health, so I'm going to just try to chase them back toward the rendezvous site and hope that one of them stumbles. There's enough of them that there's a pretty good chance, I think. Okay, this one has fallen. Hopefully the rest of the pack jumps in to help me hold her down, because otherwise she is going to get up pretty quickly here. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're getting any help. Okay. Oh, maybe? Okay. Oftentimes if you don't have like at least 3 wolves holding on to the elk, they will get back up. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot we can do about that if our pups don't decide to bite her. But, yep, there we go. Thankfully we did do quite a bit of damage to her before she did get back up, so I think this should be a fairly easy kill, even considering she started on pretty high health. If you can get them to fall and you can get some good damage on them when they're fallen, they can't really do a whole lot of damage back to you, so good job, team. And we can unfortunately hear Cottonwood Creek howling somewhere not very far from us, so I think they realized that we took part of their territory. They're probably not too happy about that. On the bright side, it looks like our pack is actually full for the first time in a long time, so... yep, let's head back to the rendezvous site. Okay, we're back at the rendezvous site, and I think this is probably the last time for a while that we're going to be able to double sleep. So once we've fed the pups, I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, time to feed the pups a little bit, keep an eye out, make sure nothing is sneaking up on us that I can see. Yeah, I don't see anything just yet, but they could very well be over the crest of one of these hills. Okay, looks like the pups are all fed. One more howl, just to make sure we keep most of our territory boosted up as much as we can. And then let's get some more sleep. Okay, I kind of suspect that there are, yep, predators lurking. Thankfully it's just coyotes, which is not something I would say in the first year of a WolfQuest playthrough, but certainly second year and onward they're not really very scary. Okay. I'm going to call the pups out, I'm going to have them eat, and then I think that is where I'm going to leave off the episode for the day, as I'm just about out of time. I don't have any more food to give them. Well, it looks like Stickbug does, at least. Okay, well, that's all the food we've got, so we're going to have to go hunting, or rather, probably just run to that carcass at the start of the next episode. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you join us next time on another episode of Gnat's Journey with Gnat, Stickbug, and the rest of the pack. See ya!